That's my chess move. The tariff, the import duty question. Duties are exports. They don't benefit us. I don't get it, Ben. What do fucking duties have to do with your house? Exactly. Imposts are for import, right? So the government taxes that coming in. It benefits us. Because it benefits us? It's our stuff. Because our merchant is importing. So impost. Tax. It benefits the people, but why tax the importer? Because he's benefiting the people. And if you benefit the people, they benefit the merchant. People, merchant, tax, all working together. I don't know what they're doing with export. But if I'm exporting ice cream cones to Istanbul, you don't tax my shit. That's my own business between me and Istanbul. So now Istanbul might have an interest in taxing their imposts from me. So that's going to take, it's going to take from the pockets of their purchaser, their importer. Huh? So you really got to do it yourself, man. If you don't figure it out, you'll have to study other people's rules that may make sense, but they may not. You got to start from your core truth. You can't tax me if that shit ain't going to come back to me somehow. Right? Necessarily. It has to come back to me necessarily. Because I say, well, no. Do you use the roads? Do you use your eyes while using the roads? At night? Can't use your eyes at night without our street lights. Right? Well, I don't necessarily use it. Because they'll ask me. They will cross-examine. Now, Lawrence and Mr. Coles, do you use the roads at night with your eyes? And I'll be like, not necessarily, maybe, but not necessarily. Have you ever? Sure. Matter of fact, I think I did yesterday. I had to get from point A to B. I didn't want to use your roads, but I ain't going out of my way to use the land that God gave me to get around your road. You put it on our land. Well, we did it for the people. You didn't do it for me. You did it for the people. I'm one of the people, but it ain't for me. Because it doesn't necessarily serve me. It has to necessarily. So if you're at McDonald's and you tax my business, will it necessarily serve me? It's a much easier argument. It's a much easier argument because all the shit that the city does benefits the patrons of your business, which benefit you. So they say. So they argue. You have to at least be able to argue. There's no argument that if you tax my toaster oven, that's coming back on me. There's no situs. There's no nexus. There has to be a link, a nexus or situs, there's two words they use, that connects the taxation to the benefit. There's no link to my house, to that streetlight. There's nothing linking. The taxed good. The taxed good does not contribute any profits to the benefit, necessarily. The taxed good must be linked. The profits of the taxed must fund the benefits. Promised. It's got to be promised. There's got to be a promise. I ain't going to promise you money if you don't promise me benefit. It's got to be promised. I have to throw that word in there, man. These key words, you have to find the words that are absolutely necessary. Don't do this fuzzy. If you're a fuzzy liberal, you ain't going to be able to protect yourself in this world. You need to know right and wrong, absolutely and absolutely not. The profits of the taxed good must fund the benefits promised the taxpayer. I'm going to say there has to be consent. The thing with the consent, it's just absolutely true. There has to be consent. The thing, though, is in government, consent is a acquired by this weird, shady method. No one goes, hey, I consent. It's not an individual consent. It's a collective. I wasn't part of that collective consent. How does one substantiate collective consent? Well, it's just like what everybody voted on. You put the bullshit in their face. They had nothing else to do because they're stupid. There's no meeting of the minds. There's no consent. There never is. They'll never prove consent. So yes, consent absolutely belongs up there. There must be consent. What is a lawful tax? There must be consent. Your Honor, I didn't consent to the raping. He just came in and raped me. At the bar you gave me those fucking fuck me eyes. You gave me the fuck me eyes. Why? Because my eyes had the fuck me eyes definition? That doesn't mean that I was trying to define fuck me. You see? It's just very iffy, but that's it. They don't have it. They claim it's a lawful tax because, yeah, there's consent. She gave me the fuck me eyes. So, Your Honor, you're going to have to prove I gave him the tax me eyes. I didn't give nobody the tax me eyes. Let's continue. Mr. Defendant, the taxing that you claim to be a lawful taxing on my client here. Your taxing method, her vagina, did you tax a good? It's got to be a good. She has to be a prostitute. Intended to generate profit, not for the people, for anything for the people. That's the obvious, right? For the people. Now, this is a chess move, because the defendant is going to try to be they want to, if they just want to win, they're going to argue every chance they get. So you let them argue this, and they go, not true. For duties, no. We have lawful tariffs that tax exports. And then you go, oh no, you rebutted me, but at the same time you didn't, because guess what? I'm not an export bitch. I ain't exporting this pussy. She wasn't exporting her pussy, her pussy, her body was for private uses only. In this scenario, because this is my private house. Good? Okay. Alright. Defendant, Mr. Defendant, taxpayer. Premise. It's for the people. Yeah, you admitted it. It's for the people. Oh no, you admitted that I'm not a tariff. So it's got to be for me, right? If it's not a tariff, then it's got to be for the people. Say it. I don't know that. Okay, for the record, Mr. Taxpayer just doesn't know, but and when they don't know, it's the judge's job to know the answer. If it ain't a friggin' tariff, it's got to benefit the people. And I'm sorry, but my client here's raping did not benefit her, the people, nor herself. You cannot prove there is any benefit in this raping of my client. Moving on. The next question I have for the defendant. The tax has to be beneficial to the taxpayer. I ain't gonna pay a tax if it doesn't benefit me. If the tax that you want to collect from me, the cut, benefits the people, but it doesn't benefit me, then you need to be taken from them, not me. So yes, number 4. Hey, Mr. Taxpayer, is your tax beneficial to our client here? And he would say, well, despite the situation we're in here and her allegations, I would say, well, indeed, it benefits her, but she's not being truthful. Tax beneficial. It's not. Okay, well, that's going to have to be, Your Honor, that's going to have to be proven. Right? And my last question, Your Honor, for the defendant. Number 1, there's consent. You can't prove there's consent. You can't prove it's a good intended to generate profit for the people. That necessarily benefits the taxpayer, too. If it ain't going to benefit the taxpayer, why the heck is he going to do it? And it has to benefit the people